Welcome to another edition of Sudoku Invariants, where I teach you how to solve Sudoku invariants the easy way. Today we're solving an easy, we are not, this will be a medium, anti-night Sudoku, a Sudoku variant. The numbers 1 through 9 is placed in each row, column, and 3x3 grid without any repeats. Also, the same numbers cannot be a knight's move away. A knight moves 2 squares up or down and 1 square to the left or right. Knight can also move 2 squares to the left or right and 1 square up or down. A5 cannot go in this box because it would not be a knight's move away from this other 5. Now, let's look at okay. Let's look at row 2, the middle 3x3 grid. Notice that we have an 8 in rows 1 and 3. Notice also that row 2 needs an 8. There is only 2 squares that initially can take that 8 if we were to ignore the anti-knight rule. This is because the first and the last 3x3 grids both have 8s in them already. Looking at the 8 in row 1, using the moves of the knight, we can see where the 8 cannot go. The 8 in row 3 is too far away to prove useful, so we will only concern ourselves with the 8 in row 1. Now I need to put an 8 in row 2, but it would not be a knight's move away if I were to put it in column 6. That means we cannot put an 8 where that X is. I put in the 8 in column 5, and then look at what other numbers are missing in this row 2. I need a 1, 5, and 6. Now I see a 6 in the first 3x3 grid, but do not see a 1 or a 5. However, the 1 in column 3 tells me that a 1 can only go in these 2 spots. Within this 3x3 grid. I can also put a 1 in the other 2 spots in row 2. I do not see any other ones that help me, even if I were to apply the knight's move. Apply the anti-knight's move rule. I look at the 5, and the 6, but again the anti-knight rule does not help yet. Okay, moving on. I will look at the first 3x3 grid and see what else I need here. Okay, the 1, 3, 4, and 5. I already determined where the 1 might go, and I determined that the 6 must go in row 2 outside of this grid. And that either the 1 or the 5 goes in this first cell in column 1, row 2. This means that I only have the 3 and 4 to look at. Now looking at the 3, I see a 3 in column 2. I also see a 3 in row 2 dictating where a 3 cannot go. This means that a 3 can only go in column 3. But when we look at row 3, we see another 3. This means we can put the 3 in row 1. Now column 1 has a 4, so we know that the cell in row 2 must be a 1 or a 5. Therefore, we know that the 4 must go in either column 2 or 3. I do not see another 4 close enough to help us with the anti-night rule. I will now look at the 5. We know that this cell in column 2, row 3 can either be a 1 or a 4. And in column 3, row 3, that cell can either be a 4 or a 5. I call this a toggled, my own word here, because every 2 cells can only have 2 of the three numbers, and no 2 cells have the same 2 numbers that it can have. This means that there is not a naked pair anywhere. I either have a 1 and 5 or a 1 and 4, not 2 1 and 5s or 2 1 and 4s. I also do not have 2 4 and 5s. We'll leave those there and move on then. I will arbitrarily look at column, look at row 3. I also need in this row a 2, 6, and 7. That that 7 when 7 does help us here. Notice where the 7 is in the last upper 3x3 grid. Notice that the anti-night rule means that a 7 cannot go here. Notice that a 7 cannot go in the last 3x3 grid either, or we would be duplicating 7s. I can only put the 7 in column 4, row 3. This leaves me with the 1, 4, 5 toggles and the 2 6 numbers. Looking at column 8, I see a 5 and a 6. In that 3x3 grid, I see a 4. This means that this cell here can only take a 1 or a 2. This leaves me with a 4 and a 6. And then either a 1 or a 2 are possibly a 5 might go in the 2 empty cells. Let's think about the logic here. We've got this. Have a bit of confidence, folks. If I put a 5 here, we violate the anti-night rule. I can put a 1, 2, 4, 6 there, but then looking at the anti-night rule, not ruling out anything. The other cell can take a 1, 2, and or a 6. It cannot take a 4 because of the 4 that is already in that 3x3 grid. It cannot take a 5 because of the anti-night rule. Was hoping to force a naked pair of 4 and 6. But I need to look at the 5s more closely. Notice that this 5 in row 4 does something way cool. It bands a 5 in column 6, row 3. With a 5 band in both column 6 and 7, 7 plus band in column 8, that only leaves one empty cell for the 5. And that means that column 3 must be a 5. This makes column 1 take the 1 and column 2 take a 4. Now, in column 6, we can only put in a 1, 2, or 6. We do technically have triplets here, as only 3 numbers can go into these 3 cells and no 4th number can. moving on to column 8. 8, I need a 1, 2, 4, or 9. In row 8, there is a 4, so I know I can only put a 1, 2, 9 here. I am not seeing anything useful, so I will move on. It is not useful to put in 4 numbers of it might be. That just clutters the board and makes solving things more difficult. Okay, row 1 needs a 1, 2, 4, 5. That 5 does come into play and bans a 5 in column 5. If I were to count to 2 instead of 3, I might get better results. Okay. A 5 in column 5 bans the 5. The 4 bans a 4 in column 7. Thus, the 4 must be in columns 4 through 6 in some order. The 5 must be either in columns 6 or 7. The 2 bans a 2 in column 5, 5 row 1. Thus, we can put a 4, a 1, 4, or 4 in this cell. I put in the 5, 6 markings. I can use them perhaps. If I put a 5 in column 7, that does not tell me anything. So let's say I put a 5 in column 6. If I were to, then I could not also put a 5 in column 4. If I were to put a 6 in row 1, column 7, then row 3, column 6 could not be a 6. I love it. I love it when my brain goes out to lunch. Let's try again. Okay, to recap, we know that a 5 will either be in row 1, column 4, and in column 7, row 2, or the 5 will be in column 6, row 2, and column 7, row 1. Okay, there. You can see now what might be true. Either a 5 in column 4 and 7 with the 6 in column 6, or the 5 goes in columns 6 and 7 with the 6 in column 7. Neither dictates what must be, but it does tell me where the 5 simply cannot go. We know that a 5 will never go in column 6. This is why I have a this is why I redo my Sudoku videos and only put up the good ones. Notice the 5 in column 4. It cannot take a 5 regardless. All the twaddle above is twaddle. No amount of focus is the issue. My brain just randomly sees what it wants to see. Okay, so I know a 5 cannot go in column 4. It is true that a 2 cannot go in column 5, row 1. It is also true that a 5 cannot go there, leaving us with only the 1 and 4. So far, column 6 can have a 1, 2, 4, and 5. And column 7 can have a 1, 2, 5. I'm looking at an X pattern with that 5. Um, I'm going to ignore it though. So as it really is too close together, in my opinion, to be useful. Because of Sudoku normal rules, you can assume that one number can't be here because of that X, and I am still learning about X-wings. I keep kicking out what I know. Besides, I've solved hards without using X-wings. Okay, moving on. Let's go with okay, so the threes are in columns 7 through 9. We know that a 5 must be in column 9 and not column 7 in the bottom 3 by 3 grid. The 9, 4, 3 combo on top dictates that we cannot put a 5 up here. That leaves only the bottom for the 5 because we cannot put a 5 in the same 3 by 3 grid as another 5. This does not help us on top, as we already knew that the 5 must go in column 7 on top. Oh God. Looking at the ones, 2, Ones and twos, no help. No help anywhere. The 7 is in the middle, giving us no help. Help the 4 must be in either column 7 or 8. So we really cannot solve anything over here yet. Let's look at the 5 in column 3 and in row 5. And in row 4. This tells us where a 5 must go. Five can only logically go in column 2. Looking at column 2, I need a 1, 2, 4. 6. I know that the 1 must go in the bottom somewhere. And the 2 and 6 can be anywhere. Not useful. The easy one was 2. 2 was 2 very easy. This one is not at all easy. I'm going to put in pencil marks, as I feel like I am working on a hard one. I am just not seeing what needs to be put in. Okay. I am still looking at what I am missing, which is something very obvious. There are times I just want to cry. This is painful. I can solve mediums way faster than this, even with bad typing and teaching. Normally, I'd quit, erase, and then solve this on a new day. Notice I did put in that 8 in column 3, row 7. I did fill in a bunch of numbers and then found nothing. Notice the 4-6 combo in row 4. Because they're alternate rows, we cannot put 89 there. Two, 9, 4, 6, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 6, 9. For row 4. Did remove a 9 because it was impossible for it to go there given the anti-night rules. Normally, I would never put in every single number that is plausible because any number beyond 2 just makes it harder to see the obvious. But once you put in and all the places where two numbers could go and you still don't see anything, then you put in the third number until you see the obvious. Notice that the 9 in row 4 can only go in columns 1 or 6. We would only put in those numbers, the 9 in those cells. However, I am struggling, so I am not doing that. Filling in more numbers. Filling in more numbers now. Just watch. I did find the obvious 8 that was given, finally. I also used a solver, and that solver was useless at finding these steps and telling me anything. Nothing tells me that the column 1, row 4 must be a 2, except to solver, which gives me no nothing. There is another solver online that is far superior, but that one is not made for anti-night. Okay. Okay. The 8s are all in. We can now ignore 8s. Now notice I did take out a 1 in column 5, row 6, because the rules say a 1 cannot go there. Anti-night. Leaves us with 1 only going in columns 4 or 6. Now I am going to remove all the obvious cannot be's. Okay. 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. Where is the 5 though? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay. One, two, five, six, seven. 6 can't go here. 6 is only in there. 5 can't go in here. 5 is only in here and here. Now let's check what we've got here. I am going to now apply the anti-night rule to get rid of more numbers. I remove the 6. I removed a 3, but then went up and saw that 9, which makes this cell must be a 2. This is the obvious that took me an hour and 17 minutes to see. My brother is an idiot, is a fool, to use the biblical term. I was focused. I get any more focused, my head will explode. I even used a solver to try and see it and could not figure out why it got a 2 here so easily. applying the anti-night rule, I'll rule out more numbers. When confused, I'll look at a cell of plausible numbers and then work backwards to see what night it might run into. Look at row 7, column 4. If I were to tonight move up 2 spots and then over 1 I reach a 1, this means I cannot put a 1 in the spot I started at. I forgot to remove that too. Now we look at column 7, row 6. we go back to the other 3x3 grid and remove the 6s. Now we do have a 4 in row 4, so let's remove the 4s. Notice we have a 1, 6, 9, 1, 6, and 1, 6. The 1 and 6 are naked pairs. So we can make this 9. We can make this a 9 here. Notice this. There's 9 in column 5. We cannot have a 9 here. Okay, notice this 5 here. Column 8, row 5. This means we cannot have a 5 in row 7 at column 9. or nor can we put 1 in column 7. This means that row 9, column 9 gets the 5. Okay, looking at column 4, only a 6 can go in row 9. This is because the 6 was already ruled out in ruled out above in column 4. 1 to 4 to 4, 1 to 4, 9 to 4, 9. Okay. Okay. Moving to the far left 3x3 grid, I only see one spot for the 6. Okay, with the 7, 9 naked pair, I can rule out the 7 and 9 and all other places in this row 9. A 3 could only go there, so I put it in column 6. Go here, take that out. Okay, moving to column 1, I see where only the 5 can go. And we'll look at a group of numbers and then see if any of those numbers exist. It's around them. Notice column 9, there is only one spot for the 6 because all other spots already ruled out the 6. And anti-night rules means that the 6 can't go in this 1, 2 box. Which makes column 6 be the 6. And row 2 gets the 6 in column 7. That is the only spot left for the 6. That means the 5 goes in row 1, column 7, and also in column 6 at row 2. I put in okay, I remove the 1s where they can't go. I wish I was being stupid on purpose so I could just knock it off. Okay, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, 9, 2, 7. Okay, oh yeah, and 7, 9 on row 5. 2s, 4s, 3s. Okay, 3 can only go in column 5, row 5. Two, 4, 2, 4, 9, 2, 7. Nine, 7, 7, 2, 2, 4, 4. 3. Okay, 3s don't matter anymore. 3, 5, 6, and 6 and 8 are all in. Okay, not quite. I'll put in the 6. Um, in column 5. And do not see anything else to remove of these numbers. Chumps. Okay, notice in column 4, C for column, um, that I can only put a 9 in row 7. Now this 9 is going to have a domino effect, I think. I put in the 7 in column 3, row 9, and the 9 in column 1. Um, the 7 in row 5. Row 5, column 1. That makes the 4 in column 4, row 5, and the 9 in column 7, row 5. A 7 can't go in the same column as a 7, so I put the 4 there and the 7 in column 7. Okay, 1 and 2 can go in middle 3 by 3 grid. Grid. I thought it was obvious which went where, but it isn't. One, two, 7. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4, 7. No, 1, 2, 7. 4 can't go there, which it has to be the 4. And this has to be the 1, which is that cannot be a 1. That can't be a 1, that has to be 2, which makes that the 4. 4, which means that cannot be a 2. That cannot be a 1. I can't be a 2. Um, okay, notice. And I'll notice 2 hours later, practically, I finally got us to a 1-7 X-wing. But notice that this 7 in column 7 6 means that we cannot put a 7 in row 7, column 9. This is because of the anti-knight rule. I now finish the puzzle. And check it against the seller, and do not see any stupid mistakes. I am still crying inside. This should not have took me this long. Never on a medium after my 16 years of drilling Sudokus has it took me this long on a medium, not even on a variant. Killer, Blackout, and Skyscraper do not count. I still cannot solve Skyscraper or Blackout. I got really. Thank you for solving this one with me. Please like, subscribe, and share. I hugely appreciate it. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day. Bye.